Hello everyone, my name is Terence Kalule, and I'm a cardiac nurse working with Nakasero Hospital within the cardiology department. The cardiology department of Nakasero Hospital has about 3 units within it. We have the cardiac OPD or the cardiac clinic, which also has a huge bit of our diagnostic services. Then we also have the catheterization lab where we are at the moment, and we also have a wellness unit. I enjoy working in Nakasero, and yeah, that's it pretty much. I didn't have any particular interest in pursuing nursing as a career. Matter of fact, it came through as a by the way, but over the course of practicing nursing, I did get to enjoy it, given the path of finding purpose, if I may put it that way. So it has an attachment to making people feel better about themselves, to having to find solutions, the intimate, not intimate per se, but the therapeutic, intimate connection you have with various people whom you're finding in healthcare facilities, who are in need of, talk to someone, find this, find that. It's something I'm so huge about, and it's that kind of narrative that made me really enjoy the nursing profession. And it's something I did get to embrace after getting to understand it holistically, after having pursued the course. Yeah, of course, there are quite loads, but what might stick out for me is what happened during the COVID pandemic. There was quite a lot that happened within that situation, from it being in a global pandemic to it being a novel virus. We hadn't seen anything of the sort. Yeah, so as a low middle and income country with so few facilities that have state-of-the-art and science kind of facilities, our ICU back in the day was one of the only ICUs within the country that was well resourced. So we used to really get a great deal of referrals coming in from near and far. But the entire situation to me was very memorable in the sense that we did get to treat people, but then it was also a little bit traumatic to say, having to see people die every other day, or, some people get better, some people, get closer to their families, their parents, their friends. To me, that was very memorable, and it was one of such a turning point for me as an individual. At the moment, I'm working as a cardiac nurse, and I also serve as the supervisor of the cardiology and wellness department. Something I do enjoy, having to see people grow, to mentor people, to see that systems are smooth and running. In line to that, and where I see myself as a nurse, I see myself as an administrator within health and social systems, and yeah, I see myself in that kind of narrative, making health systems way much better than how I found them. And all in all, seeing to it that we do create something that has an impact for when we leave. Yeah. Well, it comes along with mixed feelings, particularly in the sense that practicing nursing within Uganda has its challenges, or within Africa, in comparison with our nurses elsewhere within the world, in Europe, in the UK and elsewhere. We do have faced quite a good deal of challenges, like what you see in the news lately with interns striking within government facilities. But what comes along with private facilities, I think, are the advantages of working in a well-resourced facility, and most importantly, working under administrations that are quite empowering, that are there for you, or at least hear you out. That kind of assuages these many concerns. To answer the question of how I feel celebrated today on Nursing Day, not that we do nursing to be celebrated, but I really do think there is need to recognize what nurses get to do. Nurses happen to account for about 75 to 80% of healthcare professionals, I think, within most clinical settings. And you'll definitely find that the nurse is at the bedside, or not just at the bedside, but they spend much more time in comparison with other healthcare professionals. So that to me is so huge. They have quite such a huge impact to healthcare, to the patient, to the system in general. it feels good. It feels great that at least in the 12 months calendar, there is just that 1 week where we get to celebrate these heroes, so to say. Yeah, just to take time and appreciate them for what they do for us. Feels really good. There is more you can do with your nurse's license. There is more you can do with what you have, your nursing degree, your nursing diploma, your nursing master's. There is more you can do. Nursing is not confined only in a clinical setting as the rhetoric is, but there is more you can do. You can end up into research, you can end up into clinical practice, you can end up as a tutor, you can end up as a health educator, you can end up very many things really you can do. So may we break the confines, may we break those boundaries that confine a nurse as just a nurse, to be by the bedside, but we'd love to see more nurses into positions of authority, positions of policy making, positions of implementing change, positions of leadership, clinical practice, and all that. And I think if we get to do that, there is more to nursing than just the clinical perspective. Yep.